Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Meg, and in this video we are going to be going over some easy back stretches that you can do no matter what ability you are in yoga. So whether you're a complete beginner or somebody who practices asana quite a lot, this is suitable for every single person. It's going to help open up the back, get a bit of movement through the spine and ease some tension through the back. When you're ready, we will get started. We're going to begin laying all the way down onto your back. If you need to use blocks or straps during this class, that's absolutely fine. Use them for support. And when you're laying down onto your back, it's up to you what feels best to you. Maybe having your legs straight and long and just laying flat, absolutely fine. Maybe you prefer to have your knees bent, your feet wide, and then just slightly tuck your tailbone under so you're kind of pushing your lower back down into the mat. Whatever feels best for you. We're going to close down the eyes, and I just want you to tune into your body for a second here. Tune into where you feel those aches, those pains, and that tension in your back. Is it in your upper back, your mid back, your lower back? Maybe you can feel more tension on one side than the other, and you don't need to do anything with this information right now, but it's just about tuning in and really learning about where those aches and pains are. This is going to help you when you come into your different stretches to know what's going to work better for you. And throughout all of these stretches as well, just noticing again when you can actually feel those muscles or those aches and pains, that muscle where the ache and pain is kind of where you can feel it stretching. And then just remembering to hold everything at a gentle stretch. This is not a deep stretch class. This is about getting a bit of gentle movement, getting a bit of mobility, and a gentle stretch to ease aches and pains. So just take a second, tune in, notice where that pain is. And then we're going to bring the knees up in towards the chest. Doesn't matter how the feet sit, you can sit the feet so they cross over each other, they can sit next to each other, flexed, pointed. Just let everything hang or lie where it feels comfortable. Hug those knees in towards the chest. Try and press your lower back down into the mat and your upper back or your shoulder blades in as well. Maybe rock the head from side to side, loosening off across the neck. Slow deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Bring the head back into center if you've been rocking it side to side. Again, you can just stay squeezing the knees into the chest, stretching out through the back, or maybe you can rock from side to side. Massaging out into the back if you need to. We're going to listen to our bodies throughout this whole exercise, throughout this whole stretch. Let's bring everything into center if it isn't already. And one more squeeze in towards the chest. Bring both the feet up. And if you can, we're going to rock down the spine to come into a seated position. If this feels too much, just come into a seated position however it feels best for you. If you've got your yoga block, feel free to sit on it here, and this will help get a little bit more movement in this next stretch. We're going to come into our staff pose from here. Sitting up nice and tall through the spine and through the hips. Think about tipping your pelvis forward. So as if your pelvis is like a bowl, you're tipping it forwards. And if you can, maybe grabbing hold to the shins, the ankles, or the toes, and just let yourself melt down here. This is not about getting your head to your feet. This is about opening up through your lower back. So it's a gentle stretch. If you can't grab hold of the toes, like I said, you can hold onto the shins or the ankles. You can also use a yoga strap. Wrap it around the toes and then kind of pull on the strap. No one is here to judge you. You do what feels best for you, what feels best for your back. And again, we're looking for a stretch that's around 50 to 70%. And you should feel a nice stretch all the way through, perhaps through your hamstrings here as well, into your glutes, up through the lower back, and probably into the mid and upper back as well, especially if you've got hold of your toes. And just gently let everything melt down. Think about letting your chest melt down towards the thighs. If you need to take a bend into your knees, even a deep bend, absolutely fine. As long as you can feel that breath in, that stretch in your lower back, that's all that matters. Remember, we're tuning into our body, listening to our body and noticing where we can feel those stretches. And then manipulating those stretches so that it's hitting in the right place of where you feel your back is particularly tense or tight. And we'll take a couple more breaths here. Try and relax the shoulders, keep them away from the ears. Maybe let your head get a little heavier. Maybe your chest can melt a little bit closer towards the thighs. Inhale, slowly come back up. And we're going to take this into a cross-leg seat from here. Just sitting how it feels most comfortable for you. We're going to try and open up through the upper back and the back of the neck here. So we're interlacing the fingers, placing them onto the back of the head, the base of the skull and the top of the neck. As we inhale, we're pushing the chest forward and squeezing your shoulder blades together and trying to push your elbows towards the back of the room, opening up through the chest, getting a bit of movement and squeezing those shoulder blades together, gazing up, deep breath in. Exhale, we're going to hug the elbows in towards each other and just take the chin in towards the chest. So we're not rolling down yet, we're keeping the spine straight and we're just taking that chin in towards the chest. Inhale to come back up. Squeeze those shoulder blades together, push the elbows towards the back of the room, gazing up, deep breath in. Exhale, chin into chest, elbows hugging each other, and we'll start to curl down. Maybe seeing if you can bring your elbows in line with your belly button. So you should start to feel this stretch across the top of your neck, across the top of the back, but also into your mid-back as well. We'll inhale to come back up. Same thing again, push the chest forward, squeeze the shoulder blades together, elbows towards the back of the room, deep breath in. And this time we're going to roll all the way down, chin into chest, hug the elbows in towards each other, hugging the ears, maybe taking the elbows to meet the belly button or in line with the belly button, maybe all the way down. And where you want to feel this is across the lower back, the mid back and the upper back. Breathing here. On your next inhale, we'll bring everything back up. Bring the arms away. Do any movements that you need to here. You can always rock from side to side. Come into some little cat-cow movements, tucking the tailbone and pushing it back out and behind. And we're going to take this into a twist from here. So keeping the legs crossed, we're going to take the right hand on the outside of the left leg. Deep breath in. Make sure you're sending that breath into the ribs and into the chest. Left hand comes behind and we'll gently start to twist towards the back of the room. Breathing here, gazing over your shoulder. Keeping tall through your spine and through your hips. And as you breathe, send that breath into your chest, into the ribs. Exhale to come back to face the front, and we'll do the same on the other side. Left hand comes on the outside of the right leg this time. Right hand comes behind. Inhale to prepare, lifting through the chest. Exhale to twist. Gazing over your right shoulder towards the back of the room, keeping tall through the spine and through the hips, and sending the breath into the chest. On your next exhale, we'll come back to face the front. Do any movements again here that you might need to do. cat-cow spines, barrel rolls. You can make these as big or as small as you want, getting some movement, some mobility through the spine. And we're going to roll over the knees and the shins, if you can, to come into a tabletop, like so. If that feels too much, just come into a tabletop, however it feels best for you. Your hands are underneath your shoulders, your fingers are spread, and your knees are underneath your hips, feet are behind your knees. Let's do a bit of mobility here. So we're going to work on our cat-cow spines. Now, as you inhale, we're lifting the tailbone, dropping the belly, squeeze your shoulder blades together, push through the hands and gaze forward. Deep breath in. Cow spine. When you need to exhale, tuck the tailbone, lift through the belly, spread through the shoulder blades and take the chin in towards the chest. Exhale. Cat spine. When you need to inhale, lifting that tailbone, dropping the belly, squeezing the shoulder blades together, pushing through the hands, gazing forwards. Deep breath in. Cow spine. And when you need to take that exhale, tuck the tailbone, lift through the belly, spread through the shoulder blades and take the chin in towards the chest. Exhale. Cat spine. And keep going on your own breath. You want to make these quite slow. Really think about each vertebrae moving. Don't be afraid to use the space around you. When you're in your cow spine, really think about lifting that tailbone up, squeezing those shoulder blades together. When you come into your cat spine, really think about tucking that tailbone under and pushing through the hands, creating as much space between the shoulder blades as you can. Keep going on your own breath. Remember, inhale in your cow spine. And then when you need to exhale, come into your cat spine. Exhale at the bottom. Let's take one more of each, so it doesn't matter where you are. One more of each spine. Then we'll come back into the center again. Maybe rock the hips from side to side, moving through the spine, getting a bit more mobility across the lower back. Anything that you need to do. We're going to take this into our thread the needle from here. So just make sure that your hands and your knees and your feet haven't moved. You want to make sure your hands are underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the knees are underneath the hips, feet are behind the knees. As you inhale, we're going to lift the right arm up to face the ceiling. Spread through your fingers and really think about twisting and opening up through the chest. If you can, gazing up towards your top hand, getting a bit of a stretch here, opening through the chest as well as getting a bit of a twist through the back. Deep breath in. Exhale. We're going to thread the right arm underneath the left. Take the right ear down into the mat. And you can stay here. If this feels enough, you should feel this opening up through the back of your shoulder blade. Or if you want a little bit more, you can walk the left arm out and in front. This just opens up through the left shoulder as well and stretches through sort of the top of the left-hand side of the back too. So this stretch is focusing on the upper back. It's a gentle twist. Gets kind of underneath the shoulder blades as well, where your rhomboid muscles are. A lot of people hold a lot of tension and tightness in their rhomboid muscles. So this is a really good stretch for if under your shoulder blades are quite uncomfortable. Take a few more breaths. Make sure your hips stay anchored over your knees. And if your left hand is out and in front, we're walking it back so it's sitting in front of the face, pushing up through that left hand, and we're taking the right hand down. Back into your tabletop, make sure the hands are underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. So inhale this time, we're bringing the left arm up. Again, remember to open up through the chest, lifting up through the body and gazing up towards the left hand, spreading through the hands if you can. Squeeze the shoulder blade backwards, so you're getting a good twist here, opening up through the chest, through the spine. Deep breath in. Exhale, let's thread that left arm underneath the right. And again, you can stay here or maybe walk the right arm out and in front. Keep those hips anchored over your knees. Feel that stretch. Cross underneath the shoulder blades, top of the back. Now on your next inhale, we'll walk that right hand so it sits next to your face, pushing up. Step the left hand back down to come into your tabletop again. Let's shuffle the hips back and just bring your knees together. Melt over your knees and walk the hands out in front, child's pose. Stretching out through the entire back here. The more you walk your fingertips away, really let your shoulders kind of come up towards your earlobes. And this is going to give you a deeper stretch across your upper back. Breathing here. Let the chest melt over the legs, opening up through the whole of the back, resting. And on your next inhale, we'll come back up. We're going to take this into our pigeon pose. You have two different options to come into your pigeon pose. You can either stay in your tabletop, and we're starting with the right leg. We're going to bring the right knee to sit behind the right hand and swing your right foot so it's then sitting behind the left hand, and walk your left foot back and behind to come into your pigeon pose. So that's your first option to get into pigeon pose. If you want to add on and you want to do another exercise that's going to stretch your back out a bit more, we're going to start in our down dog. So flexing through the toes, take the hips back towards the heels, lift up and back into your down dog. Push through the hands, chest in towards the thighs, lift the hips up towards the ceiling. So this is also going to stretch out your back, and this is going to be great as well, especially if you get lower back pain, because you're stretching out all the way through the glutes and the hamstrings as well. When you push through your hands and try and take the shoulders up towards the ears, again, you're going to be working some strength into the back to help with pain too. So we want your back to be strong, but also flexible. If you need to take a bend into the knees and lift your heels, you can. And this time we're doing the same thing again. So we're lifting up onto the toes and bringing the right knee to sit behind the right hand, swinging the foot out and sitting back into your pigeon pose. So it doesn't matter how you get into it, whether you come in through your down dog or whether you come in through your tabletop. You want to make sure that you're sitting up nice and tall through the spine and through the hips. Don't let your shoulders come up by your ears, let them come down nice and gently, flexing through your front toes. And if you want to sit on a block here, you can do, and this helps to kind of keep your hips nice and level. You can stay upright, or if you want, you can come down onto the forearms. Take this into a fallen pigeon. So this pose is really good for opening up through your hips, through your glutes. And it is less about the back here, but sometimes lower back pain especially can creep in because your glutes or your hips are tight. So this is a good pose to do if you have got a little bit of lower back pain, because it helps to open up all the surrounding muscles as well, which will then in turn could help with opening up and helping with your lower back. Breathing here. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. Let the chest melt down. Keep the hips level. Don't let one hip roll forwards. We'll take a couple more breaths here. And then on your next inhale, if you're not ready, let's come back up onto the hands. You can either push up and back into that tabletop, so flexing the back foot, walk the knee in and either step back into or bring your front knee in towards your tabletop, or you can lift the knee and step back to come into your down dog. Same thing again, pushing through the hands. Shoulders are up towards your ears, lift the tailbone up high, chest in towards the thighs, come up onto the toes, or if you're in your tabletop, just bringing the left knee to sit behind the left elbow, bring it down and swing the foot out gently. Slowly take the right foot back and behind to come into your pigeon pose on this side. Again, making sure that you're up nice and tall. If you're staying upright, shoulders are relaxed away from the ears, flexing through your top foot, so your left foot. Your hands are underneath your shoulders and making sure that your hips are not rolling one way. So you want to make sure that your hips are nice and even. If you want to take this into your fallen pigeon, come down onto the forearms and just let yourself melt over the legs here. Opening up through the back. As I said before, in this stretch, you're going to be opening up through the lower back a little bit, but mainly through the hips and through the glute muscles. So you should feel this across the glutes, across the front of the hips. Relax the shoulders. Let the chest melt down further if you're folded forwards. And if you're up, right onto the hands. Just let that hip sink down, but keeping them even. As I said before as well, you can always use blocks. You can place your block in front of you and place your forearms on top of the block, or you can sit it underneath your bum, so you kind of have a bit more to keep those hips even. Taking a couple more breaths. On your next inhale, we'll come all the way up. Back up onto the hands if you're not already. And we're all going to come back into our tabletop. So regardless of whether you were doing down dogs before, we're going to flex the back toes, walk the knee in towards your body, pushing through the hands, and bring your left knee to meet the right. You can always rock the hips from side to side here. If you need to, you can come back into your child's pose, maybe rock the hips here, especially if you've got really tight hips. You might have found that that was quite uncomfortable. And when you're ready, we're going to come up into a cross-leg seat. We're going to come into our final stretch, which is actually to stretch more into the neck, but across the tops of the shoulders in what's called the trapezius muscle. And this I find is where people get a lot of tension and tightness, especially if they're quite stressed or if they live somewhere that's very cold. So I find during the winter, because my shoulders are up higher, because I get cold and I kind of try and keep myself warm, I get tension into the traps. Or into the trapezius muscle, and same for a lot of people who are dealing with a lot of stress. I often find that their shoulders start riding up, so it's about stretching that out. We're going to take the hands down by your sides, keeping yourself upright again, nice and tall. Don't let yourself slump forwards. We want the shoulders to kind of be up and back. Imagine you have like a little gem in between your chest, or like in my case, I've got a necklace on, and it's like you're showing it off and you want people to see it. So we're not kind of rounded over and curled under. We want people to see that we're proud of what we've got on our chest, but we're not pushing anything forwards. So it's about kind of sitting up nice and tall, as if there's a piece of string running from your lower back all the way up through to the top of your head, like you're a puppet and you're being held up by a piece of string. Hands come down by your sides. Push the hands down in towards the mat. You can have the hands in quite close towards you or quite far away from you. The further you walk the hands away, the more you're going to feel this across into your hands and arms, and the deeper the stretch is going to be. So just have a play around with it for a second and see what feels best for you. You want to make sure that wherever you are, you can press your palms firmly down in towards the mat, and you're not leaning forwards to get your hands down. You want to keep upright through the back. We're then going to take the right ear to the right shoulder. Breathing here, keeping tall through the spine. Again, remember not to let yourself sway forwards or move forwards. We want to keep that kind of core slightly engaged to help keep you upright. Like I said, imagine there's a piece of string, like you're a puppet. They've just let your head go to one side, but your spine is still up nice and tall and straight. If you want to make this a little bit more intense, you can place the right hand onto the left ear and just gently press down. So you should feel this all the way across the side of your left trap muscle, trapezius muscle. And then we'll do the same on the other side. Right hand comes down, left ear, left shoulder. Remember to stay upright. You might find that one side is tighter than the other. Like for me, I find this side is a lot tighter than the other, mainly because I'm right-handed. I hold a lot of tension in my arms and across the side of my neck. So you can stay here with the left ear to the left shoulder, or you can pick up the left hand, place it onto the right ear, and just gently start to press, opening up, cross through the side of the neck. Remembering to breathe, noticing that stretch. You want to be holding these stretches at about 50% out of 100, so it's not a really deep stretch, it's just a nice gentle stretch through the sides of the neck. Keep that spine up straight, nice and tall. Taking a deep breath in. Exhale to bring everything back. Taking a second here, relax through the shoulders. I really hope that you enjoyed today's class. Keep coming back to this video, keep following it along, and each time you work on these stretches, it will help to open up those muscles even more. It will help to create more mobility, and it will help to strengthen your back, increase flexibility, and hopefully as well help to ease any tension and tightness throughout the back as well. This is not a magical fix, it's something that you have to keep coming back to and keep practicing, but the more that you practice, the easier it will become. Working throughout the whole body as well is going to help. Like I said when I was doing those pigeon pose stretches, what can sometimes happen with pain in the body is that you're actually in other places tight, but you're feeling it in a different place. So if your lower back is tight, like I said, it could be that your glutes or your hips are actually tight, and so that it's just a case that you need to work on those other places. So it's worth bearing in mind the top of your back is tight. It might be because the front of your chest is tight, or maybe across the arms or into the shoulders even. So it's important that you don't just work on one part of the body and that you work on everything. And my channel is absolutely full of different kinds of stretch classes that you guys can all follow along. They're all for free, so you can follow along as much as you want and get as much information as you want as well, and help to open up throughout the whole body and just overall improve your yoga practice, your body's health, your flexibility, your strength, everything. I really hope that you enjoyed today's class. Please comment, please like, please subscribe. Anything that you could do to help to support this channel honestly means the absolute world to me, and it keeps me able to give you more content and share more yoga classes with you all. Thank you guys. Have an amazing rest of the day, and I look forward to practicing with you all again soon. Thanks. Bye.